Hello and welcome to our video of what's new in Basware Alusta. The last time we did the recording was on the 21st of March this year, and the latest version that we discussed was 19.3. This recording will cover the updates from 19.4 until 19.10, and the session will be done in English because some of our customers are joining from around the world. My name is Cathy Williamson and I'm a business consultant for ICreative. My experience has a wide range regarding the organization, the processes that are important for the organization or departments, and also I'm helping organizations with their business cases. When we are talking about new software or change in the process, it's a very important mindset that needs to change because we are talking about an investment rather than a cost. Moving on to the agenda for today. I will begin with an introduction of the new features, especially what is the meaning of the updates. After that, I will show you a summary of the releases to give an overview. After that, I've highlighted very important new features. In total, there are 75 new features in a period from 19.4 until 19.10. So those are a lot of improvements, and we can't discuss every feature. And that's why I've highlighted a number of new features. I'm closing the session with a quick look into the near future, to give you an idea for what major improvement is around the corner. Like I said, the introduction to start with. When we are talking about the new releases, the mindset have to change. In history, or for some other customers, the current situation, we were talking about them, which version they are using right now. But now, a lot of our customers are using the SaaS environment. This means that there are updates every month. Like it or not, but therefore you're always using the latest version. With this new situation, can we still talk about new releases, or is this the current situation for a lot of our customers? And how can we introduce this into different organizations? Because a lot of our customers are still using the on-premise version, and a lot of our customers are on the SaaS environment. And how can you, as a manager or a key user or application manager, introduce these new features into your own organization? Of course, we can help with that, but there is also a website. This is shown over here with this link. And after you have clicked the link, you come on the website from Basware, which shows which new features there are regarding on a timeline. You can see them over here, arranged per quarter over here. But also you can select here which aspect of the P2P process is important for you, so you can manage and filter out all the new features. And over here you can see what is the new feature. If you click on one of them, then the screen will change like this, which means that it gives more information and some background information about the new feature. In this case, an enhanced version of a three-way matching, and it is placed in Q2 of 2019. Besides that, you can also click over here to see the releases, and those are shown over here. Within the release, you can see, or you can click on the release to see a document which can be opened. It shows like this. It always starts with some part of the content, in this case the 19.4 new features. And within the content, you can click very easily to get to the right new feature. In this case, you can see number 2, procurement, professional users review action in purchase requisition details view in Edge. Very important is this line over here. It shows if it is automatically in use or that you need some help from us, or you can do it by yourself. Oh, sorry. Goes to the wrong slide, because I promised a release summary, and here it is. Like I said, there are 75 new features from 19.4 until 19.10. 49 of them are regarding the purchase aspect of the P2P process. 20 of them are for API automation, 3 for analytics, 2 for the platform, and 1 general. The bottom line is very important, because here you can see that 58 of the 75 is automatically in use, which means that every update is done in the weekend. When you close down on Friday, start it up on Monday, it's possible that 58 of them new features you can automatically use. 11 of them is needed, is a consultancy needed from our side. Then you need to think about that it's such an important new feature for that also needs some changes in the interfacing, or it needs some changes in the process. It's a big improvement most of the time for the platform. Then you can see over here that 3 of them we need some consultancy from us, but also some customer action. So it means that you need to approve it for some users before they can use it. And 3 of them can be done by the client itself, by the customer itself. All right, like I said, I've highlighted some important new features and I'd like to discuss them with you. The screen looks like this. Every slide is the same for now. You can see over here which version. Over here, if it is based for procurement or is for AP automation, in this case it's the platform. And over here in the dark blue you can see what the new feature is, and if the feature is automatically in use or we need some consultancy or your own work. In this case, it's about the configurable session timeout. Normally you can't set up a timeout and after a period the system logs out when you are not using it. With this new feature, you can, over here, select an amount of time in minutes before it needs to log out after not using it anymore. And like it says, it's possible to configure the length of the timeout per customer or in some cases per user. So it means on how many rights do you have to change this? Do you need to do it on organizational level, or can we change that to the user level? It was a feature that was asked by a lot of customers to change, and now Alusta of Basware has created it. In this case, 19.5, it's about purchase, guided purchasing in the purchasing search page. For every customer that is using the purchase module of Basware, this is a new feature. Over here, you have the main tab is the search part. This part you can only see normally within the home page and not in the search results. This has changed now. Or you can see the same guided purchasing buttons or tabs or shortcuts within the search page. So that's a new improvement. Not a very big improvement, but it's an improvement because it gets all the search results together in one overview. The next one is about the email receiving. They have updated it from with some more error messages to make more clear why there is an error. So in this case, the invoice is locked and you need to try it again later. But there is also a version that, well, the data has to be edited or added first before you can approve it within the email or review it. This can give a lot of help why some things, why it's not possible to review or add coding towards an invoice from your email. So it's an improvement which make it more easier, more clear what the next step can be. This one is about the general, and what you can do with this is that you can add some custom links into the homepage of the on the approved site. So it means that not even if it's a Basware situated module, but you can also create your own modules with your own hyperlinks inside the home and purchasing search pages. So, for example, if you have a special need for human resources, special main page or intranet site like this one, or you have your own support center, you can create links to it and paste them on the homepage of the Basware environment. All right, This is a very important one. This is also a very big one. You can see over here that some consultancy from our side is needed to make this feature, to place this feature in the part of Basware. It means that it's changing to dynamic discounting support. You can see some red boxes over here, and you can see that this invoice is becoming a part of, like they say it, automatic dynamic discount program. So it means that when you are a customer and you have an appointment with your a contractual point with your supplier about discount, the early pay discount, then Basware will recognize that invoice and says, hey, wait, it's a part of the dynamic discount, and if you pay on time, then you can save some money. So, for example, there's a new in the transfer file, a new filter selection added, so, and it's named waiting for discount. How does it look? Yep, over here. You can see here in the in the approval flow, discount schedule, how many euros can you save in this invoice if it's paid within, well, the time that you have discussed with your supplier. And also it's showing the related documents. So in this case, in credit invoice for, in this case, 23 euros and 5 cents, like it says over here. So you can imagine that it's a very important step into your process, that it makes more clear which invoice really need that attention if you want to save some money on invoice level, because that's an appointment that you have made with your supplier. So said again, it's a very important feature, very new feature, but you can imagine that some consultancy is needed, because you can see on how many levels this is a big change in the current P2P system. All right, next one, external webshop data management. You can see this as an OCI punch out. You can now create, if you have the right user rights, of course, you create your own OCI of external webshop punch out buttons. If you have the rights, you can change this with the data management, and within the data management, you can create for the supplier the OCI button and create the outbound fields on a very easily and clear way, step by step. So it's possible that all the users can really quick use the external webshop buttons. This is transferred from the big data management, so only a few users could create them, or we can create them for you. But now, if the person has the access to the data management, it is still possible. It's now possible that they can create it on site for themselves and for the users that are able to use it. The next one is practically the same, but it's not about the external web shops, but it's about the free text forms. So it's not about building the free text form. That hasn't changed. That is still the same. Easy way, like sliding into the blocks on the right way. But it's now more easy to use them and to set them free for all the users that you want to see them. So that this, you can see it over here. If you touch this button, click this button, you can see that you have the possibility to manage the free text form and the external web shops, and the external web shop was the previous new feature. All within one environment, you can manage both now. So you don't need to step out to the data management and then log in again and things like that. Automatically in use, and for the people who are already on the SaaS, well, perhaps they have already used it or seen it. All right, the next one is about AP, is a newer feature for the AP automation. The email functionality related to the disputing invoices has been changed. You can see over here, this is the old version, and this is the new version. And the main improvement is that the supplier replies sent to. This was a mandatory field. For both it is a mandatory field, but in this case it was easily changeable or editable for the user. And in this case, the new version, it's already set up. So that they don't need to think about the email that they want to put over there, because it's a very easily step that they put down their own. Most of the time you don't want your own on personal level email address, but department email address. So everybody can take them, can pick them up. And you can see very clearly that the attachment of the invoice is over there. So not a very big improvement, not a very big feature, but an important feature when talking about processes, because it's more central based for the supplier, more easily for the rest of the department to pick it up. No more secrets. All right, a small new feature for, well, it says AP automation, but it's more general actually. The Russian language, it's now added. For now, it's 27 languages that they are supporting right now in the Basware P2Ps. And well, Russian is, of course, a very important language. All right, this is one on the coding level. For you can change your current task recipient for an invoice coding line. Earlier, it was not possible to select it, and it was only looking at the person that was logged in, so which was the user, and that name became over there. But now you can change that name. Of course, only the drop-down list will show only the users who have permission to complete the task. For example, if you have forwarded this functionality for somebody else, you can change the name and pick out the name, so the rest of the process will be in place, and everything is, of course, changed in the log file, so everybody can see why it's changed and when it's changed. The main important part of this one is that you can send it through to other users without well, thinking about it. Who do we need? Well, which colleague of mine has the same rights? Who can do this task also? All right, when we're looking at analytics, an extra new feature, additional paid on time KPI categories. Of course, within analytics, there is already a dashboard about the KPI. And in this case, there are some new additional categories, especially for the paid on time KPI. So the breakdown of the paid on time KPI has been improved to provide visibility for more granular analysis, invoices, payment outcomes. Now, like it says, there were only 4 categories were available in the breakdown, and now it's doubled. So best discount, invoice has been disputed, discounts but not the best, paid late, missed discount but on time, unknown, so the payment date not available, on time, so no discount available, and paid early, no discount available. Or when a discount was not available and the invoice was paid early anyway. So this gives you a lot of information to talk about it with the supplier, especially the last one, when a discount was not available and the invoice was paid early. So it means that it could have saved you some money, and that of course you want to discuss that with your supplier. But before you can talk about it with your supplier, you really need to have that information and data stored so that you can make the right analysis about it with analytics. All right, in this case, these were the important new features. I think we were 10 about them. Like I said, 75 in total, so 65 to go. I think it's very interesting for you as a user to check out the website that I've mentioned, the releases website. Of course, if you need some more information about some of these new features or well, general, you need some more information about it, or how can we pick it up, or how can we introduce them into your organization, please let me know. In the first slide, you saw my email address. No problem. Send it towards me, and I will guide you through it. But I also promised a quick look into the future. It's a very near future, because what I can show you over here, this is the new AP Pro user interface. It's already working. It will be piloted by some customers starting next week. So it means that well, most of it is done, is completed. And you can see that it's a completely new change of user interface. I won't go into much detail because, well, it's only a screen right now. It gives you more about an idea, about a feeling from, all right, what are we talking about when we are talking about the new AP Pro. You can see over here the received, matching, workflow, and the transfer, like you are used to always in the top. Over here you have a section that you are also used of, well, familiar of course, because here these are all the invoices. Over here we have the image, and over here we have the coding lines. Well, before I go into it all too deep, there is something that I want to mention, what is thinking more important to know. On the November the 28th, we are within ICreative, so especially for the Dutch customers that are listening right now, we are holding a Basware professional event. And this is all about the future. My colleagues and myself will have a meeting over there, a presentation, and my presentation is all about this, the new AP Pro. So you can see how it works. We will see how it's changing because, well, like you know right now from the analytics and from Basware, everything is clickable, everything will change, and everything is in one screen, but you are still able to do your job. It's getting even better. But within this event, we will talk about it more, about the AP Pro solution, and my colleagues will talk about the real future of, well, AP automation. So how do we see it? But of course, there's always room for discussion. So how do you see it? And how can we help each other about the new AP Pro, but also the new AP automation? And of course, the same as I said for the other features, if you have questions about this, don't hesitate to send an email towards me. All right, that's it. I've shown a lot, I've talked a lot. I can imagine there are more questions. Well, of course, normally within the webinar we would answer them, but, well, like we have said before, there were some technical issues, so still apologizing for that. But don't hesitate to contact me. Contact my email address, contact your account manager, contact your technical technical consultant who is available for you. Don't hesitate and ask the questions. And the next time we will see how we can how we can create the right way to give you the right idea about the new features, because it will also be a puzzle for us if most of those new features are already in place, already ready to use. But how do we manage it? How can we manage so that you are always up to date, and are able to use the right functionality? Because you saw it, there's a lot of improvement in some processes, but only if you use it in the right way. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.